second, but what should we all remember how to do?
Factor.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that those were the hard ones. I thought these were the easy ones. Yeah, some of us got stuck here, but we should have known how to do this because we've been doing this for longer, right?
Yeah.
So, in doing number 3, if you guys had done the arrows, you would have gotten 2x squared plus 6x plus 1x plus 3, which should have simplified to be 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. Whether you did the arrows or the table, you should have gotten the exact same answer, right? Focus. But if you did this the box way instead, you would have had your x minus 4, your 3x minus 2, and it would have looked like this. Now, some of you are messing up on the box just a little bit. I'm seeing it multiple ways. Remember, x times x is x squared, right, guys? Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, but there's also an x. Negative 2 with x, there's an x with that negative 2. And then negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. So whether you did the arrows or whether you did the box, negative 12x plus negative 2x. Remember, there's always an understood addition. Be careful with these signs. That's a negative 14x plus 8. That's a negative 14x plus 8. Okay, those ones are review, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's different? What's different with these multiplications, guys? Check it. Are there any numbers in front of these x squareds?
No.
No. In section 7.6, and some of you worked on this homework over the weekend, there are numbers in front. And remember, factoring, that's the word that you guys were all saying a second ago. What I think is harder than multiplying, because you're not as used to it, you haven't done it as long. Factoring makes us go backwards from the trinomial to the, remember the parentheses, the factors. Factoring makes us go backwards from the trinomial to the factors. What do you guys notice that's different in the factors that caused the 2 to appear or that caused the 3 to appear? Where was the 2 to begin with? Inside the factor. And where was the 3 to begin with? Inside the factor. We're going to have to deal with that in just a second, but some of you are like, I don't remember factoring. Okay. I could tell kind of on the quiz on Friday too. There were quite a few of you absent on Friday, so you missed the quiz, the homework quiz, the weekly homework quiz on Friday. Do you guys remember how we always have a makeup quiz?
Yeah.
Right? That makeup quiz could be your only quiz score, but some people actually do worse on the makeup quiz in the beginning. And so some of you, it's going to be up to you to come into my room, but during lunch or during period 7 or after school, if you're able to come in, you can make up that quiz from Friday and you can see what it looks like and you can see what you're supposed to have learned by now. And then you have a chance for that makeup quiz to make it higher. I'm not going to have you guys do it in class. Sean and Andrew Swanson, can you go ahead and switch seats for me, please?
Sean.
Thank you. Andrew, coming to the very front of the room. Sean, you're going for that. Okay, so factoring. Last week, we were working really hard on factoring. We were using an X method. Andrew, before you were absent, you were trying to tell us about your X method that you learned before, Isaiah. Do you use the X method? No, you don't. Trey, you use the X method though, right?
Yeah.
I think you do. So the X method is one that's pretty common, but we were also using the box method. And what we were doing was looking at the very final, and then move that seat down. Ooh! Okay, we're looking at that very final number. Technically, we're multiplying it by the first number. We just started to see that on Thursday. We've done it a little bit more on Friday. But we're looking at the first and last number, and we're saying, hey, 24 times 1, negative 24, has factors. And we've been doing this for a long time. Factors are numbers that multiply together. So factors of 24. Does 1 and 24 make 24? Yeah. But what else makes 24? Because remember, we're looking for factors of negative 24 that add to be 10. We know the beginning of our box. We know the end of our box. We need to figure out these two pieces that went together to make the 10x.
12 and 2.
12 and 2. You already found it? So 12 and 2, but check it.
Negative
Opposite
2.
signs, one of them has to be negative.
The 2.
Okay. How'd you know that, Kayla? You did a perfect job though.
Because when you subtract from your number, I do it weird, but like, I don't do it that way, but when I subtract the numbers, I got that.
Oh, because you like did trial and error kind of, right? Like
Yeah,
12
trial
minus
and
2
error.
or 2 minus 12. Good. So 12 minus 2 makes a positive 10. So what do we do with those? We come over here and we say, hey, that must have been a 12x and that must have been a negative 2x. And then we ask, what's the GCF? Now, some of you guys on the quiz on Friday, you forgot all about section 7.4. Because I asked if you had any questions. You asked about 7.5. We did examples of 7.5, and then I give you the quiz, and it had 7.4 and 7.5. And you're like, huh? What's a GCF? We're doing it every time I ask what's in common. What's in common? What's in common? What's in common? That's the GCF. So what's in common between well, I'll start here. Between these two guys? Just an X. What's in common between these two guys? Just an X. What's in common between these two? Bigger than 2. Bigger than 6. 12. See? 12 goes. You just keep on going higher and higher and higher until you get your greatest one. Now what's in common here? Negative 2, right? So those of you that got stuck on the factors, you didn't need to be. Your final factors for number 1 are right here. The final factors were x minus 2 and x plus Everest. Hi. This is the front of the room, not over there. Okay? X minus 2 and x plus 12. X minus 2 and x plus 12. Now, number 2. You guys tell me it's time for you to get some work in, to work out your brain a little bit. I did all the work so far. Some of you did work before I started, which is great, and some of you got stuck before we started. Let's get you guys working too. How do you do number 2? Go. Tell me a step.
Make the box.
Make the box? Okay. X squared already in the box. What else? Okay, there's a lot more to finishing the problem. Keep going. Okay. Trey, Isaiah, we all on the same page? Okay. Now, Kayla's been doing a great job. It's time for someone else to work. She's been working, I've been working. Keep going. What else?
Common.
4 and 11? Is that a thing? Except one of them needs to be?
Negative.
Negative. Which one, Adrian? The bigger number. Why does the bigger number need to be negative? Because of the 44? But couldn't the 4 be negative? Would it still be a negative number? Yeah. The negative 7 can only be formed if 11 is negative. So we have 4 and negative 11 is the only combination that would make negative 44 and negative 7. So what do I do with those numbers? Oh, okay. So then that's just a 4 and that's a negative 11? X. Good. They were both X's, right? 4x and negative 11x to make negative 7x. Now what do I ask myself? What's in common? Good, Jonathan. So what's in common going up?
X.
Good. Keep going, Everest. Going across. X.
Oh.
How about going across?
4.
4. How about going up?
Negative.
So my final answers? X plus 4 and x minus 11. Now guys, can I show you? I know, okay, it's kind of rough because some of you haven't taken the quiz yet, but to be honest, I'm not sure you'll totally remember it when you do take the quiz. Can I show you like the most commonly missed factoring problem? Besides the GCF, people just forgot how to do it. Can I show you the most commonly missed factoring problem? Okay, we had x squared, and I want to see as a class if we can figure out the right answer, because a lot of you guys went the wrong way. We had, let's see, a positive 24, and we had a negative 10x. It was a quiz problem from Friday. A few of us got it right, a lot of us got it wrong, but you knew what you were doing. Work through carefully with me. One last example. Pencils down if you want, just focus up here. What would you do? Okay, so 24 is on top, negative 10 is on the bottom. You're asking yourselves what multiplies to be 24 and adds to be negative 10. What can you fill in here already? X
Square.
and
24.
okay. What number of factors are we looking at?
12 and 2.
Remember? 12 and 2. Guess what most people on the quiz did? 12 and 2. But here's the problem. They were wrong. Why were they wrong? What would you have to do to get a negative 10 with 12 and 2?
Negative 2.
You'd have to have like a oh, careful. 12 minus 2 would be positive 10. How about 2 minus 12?
Negative 10. 12.
See it? That's what a lot of people did. And they were doing so well because they knew 2 and 12 made 24. They knew 2 minus 12 made negative 10. They were so close. What was the problem? What does 2 times negative 12 make?
Negative 24.
You see it?
I
And
see
just
it.
double check. So even though 12 and 2, I can't do 2 minus 12 to get negative 10, I can't have a negative if there's a positive last term. Positive means same sign. Negative means opposite sign. So whenever I see a positive, same sign. 12 plus 2 is 14. But 6 plus 4 is 10. But the sad thing is, Andrew, the sad thing is a positive 6 and a positive 4, even though they work for making positive 24, does 6 plus 4 make 10? Negative 10. Every now and then you have a number that has two different factors that could both add or subtract to make this guy, but only one combination will work both ways. And so some of you did so well. You knew the basic idea. You just made a little mistake and chose 12 and 2 instead of 6 and 4. And then at that point, we should be able to say, what's in common? What's in common? What's in common? What's in common? Now, there are a few of you that are tracking and you're like, okay, I'm making little mistakes, but I get the big idea. And there are a few of you that are like, I have no clue what you just did. I answered the problem that says factor with factors from a trinomial. If you don't understand anything I just did, you could have been absent last week, or your brain could have been somewhere else, or it could just be this is a really hard topic. Can you please come in and let me help you? Because this, if you guys remember, the word factoring was on the board for an entire week. It's a really important thing. And it's what the entire next test is going to be on. Some of them, you were asking me this morning, are just the GCFs. What's in common? Done. Some of them are get factors, split like the Red Sea, split them all up and solve. But most of the chapter is you're given a trinomial. Do you know what to do with it? Okay, notes open. Keep worksheets out, but homework spirals can go away unless your work for the worksheet's in. I'm going to come around and check the worksheet as you guys set up notes for section 7.6 that says it's getting harder. There's a number in front. What do we do? Let me come around and get that bonus marked down. Adrian, you have the worksheet, right? I already wrote these notes because we peeked at it just for a little bit, but there are a lot of you guys absent, hence why I gave you a little bit of time to write it down. Now, this example down here. Was there a number in front? A leading coefficient is what we call it, or you could also call it an A. Do you guys see how there was a 5 in front? Right? In the very, very front? But what was true about every single term in that trinomial? Yeah, there was a 5 in every single one. There was a 5 in every single one. So therefore, this was factoring out the GCF. There is a GCF of 5. And we were actually able to factor it all the way down. Now guys, is this totally factored yet?
Yeah. No.
There is a GCF, but do you see your trinomial, right? But isn't this one of those easy trinomials from last section?
Yeah.
Now, we had to review it. A lot of you guys had to review it. But, come on. Come on, maturity. Pick it up. If we're looking here, now we can look at that 2. And wait a minute, guys, there's only 2 factors in 2. It's just 1 and 2. Is that a thing? Yeah. Is 1 and 2 going to help us multiply to get 2 and add to be 3? Yeah. Sweet. Middle term. Good. Good. So then we could go ahead and we could do the box. Some of you are seeing on the easy ones, maybe all this work isn't quite so necessary, but we could do the x squared and the 2. We have the 1x and the 2x. And we're asking ourselves GCF, 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 GCF. And so when we're done with this one, guys, that 5 in front, the only thing it changed was we have that x plus 1 and that x plus 2, but what was in the very, 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 very front? Okay, so sometimes the only thing that A makes or changes is, oh, no big deal, he comes out. We're good. He comes out, and then we factor whatever's left like normal. Sometimes. But once again, this 5 only was able to come out because he was the greatest common factor. Okay, so very beginning of section, wherever he is, 7.6 is, if there's a GCF, factor that out first, because maybe it will take away whatever struggle, whatever problem that A is causing. However, oh wait, hold on, maybe not too bad. Check it. There is a 7 in front, and some of us will start to freak out just a little bit, Sean. There is a 7 in front. Andres? Sunny? Thanks. There's a 7 in front, but what do you notice about 63 and 140? Maybe it's not right off the top of your head, but 63, wait, 63 is what times 9? 7 times 9. Oh, wait, does 7 go into everybody?
Yes.
So 7 can be pulled out as a GCF. And remember, when we factor out a GCF, what do we technically do to every single term?
Divide.
Okay, so 7 over 7 goes away. Easy. 63 over 7 becomes a
Negative.
negative 9 times B. And then any mental mathers out there rocking the 140 over 7?
20.
20. Now at this point, maybe some of you can go straight to the box and say, okay, wait a minute, what multiplies to be 20 and adds to be 9? 1 and 10, 2 and 10,
5 and 4.
5 and 4.
Yeah. Both negatives.
Oh, yeah, because 5b plus 4b is positive. I need negatives. Okay, but if you were to take a little bit of time, maybe you would have gotten the take out what's in common, take out what's in common, take out what's in common, take out what's in common. Guys, this is one of those section 7.5 ones. After you take out the GCF. If you can take out the 7, nothing really changes. We just look for that factors of 20 that add to be that middle number. I'm sorry, I didn't make the X. Did some of you guys need that X?
No.
If you can learn the process, you start getting to make shortcuts, but don't make shortcuts until you're always getting it right. There we go. There's our negative 4. There's our negative 5. Is this one going to be the same thing? Basically, because, what do you see, Kayla? What can you pull up?
The 8.
Mm-hmm. Does 8 go into 8? Yep. Does 8 go into 8? Yep. Does 8 go into 48?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 6 times. So we have v squared plus v minus 6. Okay, I'm going to put a dot, 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 just because technically this is one of those old-fashioned factoring problems. And I'm going to say v plus 3 and v minus 2. Maybe some of you can jump there with me. Maybe some of you would need to make your box, but I think we could eventually get there. Here's the problem. What if A is not a GCF? We'll get there after Armando's question.
So when you get 63 divided by 7, how'd you get 96?
Oh, no. Sorry, but it's a V. It's really hard to show V's on the board sometimes. It's not a 6, it's a letter V. You see it? Yeah, it looks weird, sorry.
For this one, what would you have plugged into the box?
Oh, no, that's okay. Oh, the 8 is already out. We're just looking at the inside. So the 8 just stays. So we only look at this piece.
So that would be this square.
And that'd be a negative 6. And so then I took my negative 6 and thought of factors and figured out 3 and minus 2. 3 and minus 2 would make the 1.
Oh.
Sorry, minus 2.
Wait, is that with a negative 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Thank you, sorry.
No, it's okay. There's different ways of visualizing it, so I should write all 3 so that people can see. Okay, but so far, GCF, GCF, GCF. Ugh. Wasn't bad, just adds an extra step. But what about if it's not a GCF? And this is what I let you peek at just a little bit on Friday, but we didn't get to practice it. You need it for 3 through 12, so here we go. Sunny, Anders. What if not a GCF? You guys see the 2 in front, right?
Yeah.
But can a 2 come out?
No.
No. We're not stuck. You just have to go deeper. So let me give you a second. Factoring more complicated trinomials, we still have an A in front. But basically, the table gets a little more involved when A's not a GCF. If it's a GCF, perfect. Pull it out and just do what you've been used to doing, or at least hopefully what you've been learning to do. This time, 2's not common. Whoa! Why is there a 10 off to the side? Why is there a 10 in the X? It's 2 times 5. If I was to make my table, I still write down the 2, whatever's in front goes first, whatever's last goes last. I'm still looking for my 2 boxes, but if you guys notice, what's different is I'm not just stealing the 5. I'm technically stealing, if you want to think about it, we're taking in our X, A times C, which is the first times the last. And I showed you guys on Friday, technically we've always been doing that, but if there's a 1 in front, it's 5 times 1, which is 5, but there's not a 1 in front. This time there's a 2 in front. We can't get rid of it with a GCF. We're stuck. But if you guys have learned the box method, it's still going to be, well, it's going to be easy if you can just get this 10 written over here off to the side. That's the only thing that changes. A times C. And remember, we're trying to multiply to get top and add to get bottom. Kayla, go ahead.
For factoring, and multiply the first and last one into factor.
And we still just write that -7. That doesn't change. So, factors of 10. 1 and 10. Does that make 7 in any way, shape, or form?
No.
And it's a plus, so is it going to be same or opposite? I need same signs. So, 1 times 10 is a no. 2 times 5.
Yes.
Oh, why are you guys telling me negatives?
Because of both.
See them? Okay, so I have a -2 and a -5. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put in, now careful. Some of you have started cheating, not cheating, but shortcutting and saying, I know the answer. X minus 2 and X minus 5, and you're wrong. You have to take this and put it in the box and see what happens. Still the same method I've been teaching, but some of you made up your own little shortcut, and it's going to get you in trouble right now. Take these factors. They add to be -7. They multiply to be +10. Good, good, good. Now ask yourself, what's in common? So what's in common?
X.
Which way? This way, right? This way is just an X. But this way, there's more than X.
2x.
Do you see the 2X that came out? Ooh, yeah. What's in common here?
5.
But,
Negative.
and then what's in common here?
2.
Negative. Ooh, I don't see a 2.
Nothing.
Good. If it's a nothing, I always put what number?
-1.
1 always goes in. If there's nothing else, 1 always goes in. So check it.
Oh.
If you take from your table, aren't you going to get X minus 1 and 2X minus 5? Can you just steal these 2 and say, haha, I got... No. We always go to our box. We always try to include. Now we can say we're done. Now hold on, guys. Remember, what's really cool about factoring is every factoring problem can be checked. Do you remember how?
Yeah, we do the answers that we
Yeah, through the multiplication thing that you guys just hopefully showed me that you know how to do. And you would get 2x squared minus 5x minus 2x plus 5. Did we ace it.
Yes.
But what's the one difference? What's the one difference? Whenever you see a number in front, that's not a GCF. What goes on top?
You multiply those two numbers.
That's the only thing that changes. That's it. Here.
Oh, and the one.
You take a seat. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Okay. We still have about a minute. So you can go ahead and you can back up. Just, I want you to focus up here. You don't have to write this one down. My question to you is, what would go in the top of the X? What factors am I looking for? 12. Do you see it? 4 times 3. Okay, and it's same signs, and they're both positive. Am I good? Yeah, because I have my 1, I have my 12. So, fill in the table for me. What goes here in the top left?
4x squared.
Good. What goes down here?
3.
Always the first and the last, right? But what did I learn about that goes in these other boxes? A 1x and a 12x. Now, help me finish it off. We have about 35 seconds. I think we got it. Ready? What's in common?
X.
What's in common?
X squared.
4x.
Only one x, right? But also a 4. What's in common?
3.
3. And what's in common if nothing else?
1.
So what are my factors? Careful, keep them together.
X plus 3. 4x plus 1.
You guys are ready to rock 3 through 12. Follow the process. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, come in. Let me whiteboard with you if you guys get stuck, and I'll see you later. Later. Remember, first times last. First